Now this scene also bothered me a little bit, and it's really interesting that no one's talking about it. Jennette low-key essayed him. She low-key did. She did, because he didn't want to. And she basically was on somebody, no, this is the best. Wait, how long we been in there?
My daddy said trust no man but your brothers and never leave no day boys in the gutter. My daddy said treat young girls like your mother. My mama said trust no hoe, use a rubber.
What's up, guys? I am back with another rant. I have not done one of these in a bit. My last one kind of blew up a little bit more than I thought it would, and then I did a 40-minute one where I just hit on miscellaneous topics. But today we are going to be talking about this book. But no, we're not going to be talking about no freaking Dan Schneider. Like, at most, I'll talk about Miranda Cosgrove. But, like, I really feel like YouTube and TikTok and, like, Twitter and everything, I feel like everybody is more so focusing on the Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider stuff, because I feel like people really have a I can't even say that innuendo, it's too early in the video, I get demonetized. Let's just say a fascination with Dan Schneider, a certain type of fascination with Dan Schneider.
Hey Dan Schneider, I know you're watching my Vine. Do you like my Vine? Vine. Look what you've done to me.
I feel like that kind of overshadowed what really happened in here, because there is a lot to unpack, like a lot to unpack. So before we get into it, I just want to say straight up, I have a zero tolerance for victim blaming in this comment section, okay? We're not victim blaming in this comment section. You will immediately get your comment deleted. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. I really don't even need to explain much. So I am going to be referencing my phone because I did jot some points down. There's going to be spoilers in this video. Sorry, my eyelash was like stabbing me. I just got this mullet, elephant in the room. Is it giving Reba or is it giving Rihanna? Be real with me, guys. Be real with me. Is it giving Rico or is it giving Rodeo? What is it giving? Let me know. I'm going to be doing some spoilers. If you haven't read the book, don't watch this. Or if you haven't listened to the audiobook, yeah, this video is not good. If you want to read this book and you have not read this book, this is not the video for you. There will be those type of spoilers, and you really won't get what I'm talking about unless you've indulged. And I'm not talking about listening to somebody talk about Dan Schneider, okay? And I really tried my best to, like, keep stuff in order, you know. This might be a little long, so you guys might want to get your snacks. I think it's safe to drink a Capri Sun in the US now. I would go for it if you can. Get your Blvds, your wine, just some water. I'm a water girl right now. My water's over there. Or some snacks, whatever, your crab legs. Come on over. We're about to talk about Jennette McCurdy. I'm glad my mom died. Like, isn't that a freaking title? Just to get it out the way, because like I said, I do not want to talk about Nickelodeon. Miranda Cosgrove. I just want to talk about how awesome of a person Miranda is to Jennette in this book. Jennette expresses multiple times that, you know, they weren't like besties, because you know how life is. You're like close with somebody for a time in a season, and then you come of age, and you know, you kind of grow apart, you get different interests, you're still cordial. You know, let me know in the comments if you have anyone like that in your personal life. I have a few people like that where it's like there's no beef. There was no fallout. It's just we just grew apart, but it doesn't mean that the times we shared were not valuable, you know? Like, and that's who Miranda was to her. Just a very strong, I wouldn't even want to call her acquaintance. I'll call her a friend, for sure. Trigger warning. I'm going to say this in the beginning, too. I'm probably going to have it written earlier, but just verbally I'll say trigger warning with, like, ED, depression, stuff like that, okay? So if you have a problem with ED, don't even pick this book up. Don't even pick this book up. If you have had ED in the past and you are recovered or in recovery or whatever, yeah, I would read this, you know. But if you are somebody who is actively struggling, this book will trigger you. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real, because I'm reading it and I'm like, damn, if I could see how somebody could get, like, you know, ideas, if that makes any sense. Because it's always really risky when you talk about the how you do something, you know, or how you achieve certain body types and looks when it's not healthy. Not trying to, again, zero victim blaming in these comments, please. We're not going to villainize Jennette for doing that, because at the end of the day, this is her truth. I'm just saying, like, I definitely would not pick this book up if you have a problem with that. But that's all I really wanted to say about Amanda. Amanda was really cool, and the reason why I brought up the ED with Amanda... No, not Amanda. Amanda Bynes, a whole nother story, child. I'm waiting on Amanda Bynes' book. Miranda was a really good friend, and when Jennette finally confessed to her about, you know, her ED problems and stuff, Miranda was very, like, hands-on with making sure that Jennette wasn't in the bathroom by herself. She wasn't, like, you know, making sure she was eating her food, like, stuff like that. Okay, the mother. So I kind of went into depth on, like, the type of emotional, immature level Jennette's mom is. She's definitely on the more emotional, manipulative side of the friends. You know how some people's mom will be like, I'm not one of your little friends? Jennette's mom is one of those, but in the same breath acts like your friend 24/7. Like, what are we doing? So what I wrote down here that I wanted to talk about was specifically what I thought was really interesting that nobody is speaking about is the SA. So, trigger warning for SA. Jennette said specifically, and she even said this in the end of the book, so you know that this had like great weight on her, of about the mom bathing her and her siblings into their high school years together. Like, are you sick? And the mother's reasoning was she didn't want them to grow up. That's why she had Jennette with the ED. That's why she had them all take a shot. She didn't want them to grow up. But that doesn't make it not sick. Just because you're, you know, and your way of making your kids stay children forever is forcing them to bathe together and you washing their private areas. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And Jennette spoke about that. That was like her realization moment at the end of the book, where she was just like, okay, I'm gonna lay it all out. My mom was a narcissist. She SA'd me and my siblings and did all this other emotional abuse. Like, it's just interesting to me nobody is talking about that part. Like, everybody wants to talk about Dan being a Chester to, you know, but Jennette's own mom did that to her. And I feel like that really damaged her focal point of sexuality. She is very open about her sexuality in the book, and about how those type of experiences stunted her, and how a lot of things that are supposed to be normal for a developing girl just like did not feel natural to her. Because I mean, it makes sense. How could it, when your mom over here washing you and shit on some precious shit? Like, I don't know, bruh. It was just, Jennette went through a lot. She went through a lot for it to just be dumbed down to Dan Schneider. That's all I'm saying. Another thing her mother put her through is that wrongful paternity. No wonder you were so all up her and concerned about who she was talking to. She would not let her talk to no boys, calling her all types of sluts and stuff, because you was thotting and bopping. You was thotting and bopping all over Hollywood. And the man who she was also emotionally abusing, the dude that Jennette thought was her daddy, yeah, bruh, they all knew the whole time. And he just said, like, it was really sad. It's really sad. Her mom was like a beast. Like, I also see why she was glad her mom died. Another thing that happened due to all of basically the mom's dynamic of using Jennette to soothe her emotional needs was that Jennette actually developed a form of OCD. I would not say whether it was mild or extreme. I'm just going to say she developed OCD, and her tendencies were really interesting, like counting certain times she touched certain things. And I thought that was also really interesting that nobody was talking about the psychological factors of what can happen to you when your parent makes perfection the standard, and if you're not perfect and you don't do it right every time, the world's gonna end. Like, it was just so sad. And she genuinely thought bad things were gonna happen if she did. Like, I don't know, it was just sad. Also, I just want to talk about why I think the mom was like that. Jennette also brought up her grandmother. Her grandmother is also a narcissist. Oh my God. Her grandmother is the type that only wants to be around when the money's coming in. Her grandmother is the type where if Jennette ain't making money, that's as if she is about to get put into an old person home or live on the street. Like, this lady was so melodramatic. It was just giving Karen at the grocery store. Like, and it just makes sense on how somebody so outwardly, the grandmother is like mush. She low-key uses her emotions and like guilt trips you.
How do you feel?
I feel great now that you're here.
Aren't you just an angel?
You're my angel.
Oh.
And we always have a good time when you're around. We just don't get to see you often enough.
They say you seem mean. They say you seem unkind.
It's what?
They say that you seem mean.
It's great seeing you.
No. Grandma, can you hear me?
Yes?
Okay. You couldn't tell 2 seconds ago. What advice would you give to people who are 8 3/4?
Always mind your parents and your teachers and stay out of trouble.
I would give the exact opposite advice for the record. Don't listen to a word your parents or teachers say. Have your own opinions. Grandma, what would I have done if I would have listened to you?
What would I have done?
What would I have done if I would have listened to you? That would
Well,
not
you're
have
an
worked
angel. You listen to me.
You
We're
heard it
very
here.
proud of you. Never got in any trouble or anything. We couldn't be prouder. All our grandkids have been great. We just don't get to see you often enough.
And then as soon as you give her what she wants, it's almost like a, yeah, like, that's what I thought. So if that type of person, imagine a child being raised by somebody who acts like that, who uses their white woman tears all the time to get what they want. And then when they do get what they want, it's like a, yeah, that's what I thought. That's when you end up with a Jennette's mom, a lady who uses their cancer diagnosis, even when they're in remission or when they're fine or whatever, to gain sympathy, to get what they want. And then when they get it, they get in private and they talk all this type of shit, talking about how they don't like them. Jennette's mother was very judgmental. Very judgmental. She even was talking shit about the, okay, again, I said I wasn't going to bring up Nickelodeon, but she was talking shit about the iCarly crew, talking about how she didn't really like Miranda and how she could deal with Freddie because at least he was Baptist, like, because they would come from like a, what is it? Not the FLDS, but they were with the Latter-day Saints. I don't know if that's the same thing. I watched the Netflix documentary, don't get me wrong. Somebody educate me in the comments though, but I do know that's like a form of Mormonism, right? And that's how they identified. But still, that's like so nice nasty, you know, so nice nasty. But yeah, that's where I think she got it from, her nice nasty ass grandmama. And it's just like the chain, and Jennette broke the chain. The thing that like really had me upset also is like the fact that Jennette never wanted to act. Like, she never wanted to act. That also made me really sad because it's like, damn, you done spent your whole life making your mom happy. Like, stuff like that is how people develop anxiety, muscle problems, joint issues, like just not living in your truth for so long. It's crazy to me. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about was her first kiss on set. Again, not even gonna get into Dan yelling at her, talking about you can't kiss right, like weirdo. Super weird. I just want to get into the fact that like, I don't know, it's like her mom was tripping that whole time about everything. But then when it came to this, it was like, she was down for it. Like, she was just like, oh no, yeah, she's about to kiss somebody, whatever. Jennette was petrified. She was like, what the fuck? This is disgusting. I don't want to kiss nobody. And then she even did it again when Jennette started her cycle. Now she want to tell everybody on set that Jennette is a woman. Like, like crying, oh my God, my baby. Mind you, Jennette grown as fuck. That was another thing. They put Jennette in she put Jennette in a booster seat at 17. 17. Oh, I forgot. Another thing that she used to do when she was like a little kid, was the mom used to whiten her teeth. That is so damaging for a child. She says she used to bleach her hair, or she either bleached her hair or make her roots brown. I don't remember what it was. And bleach her teeth. But yeah, her childhood was just sad. It was just sad AF. I had no clue that she was the age that she was doing iCarly. I thought she was my age. She is like, what, 4 or 5 years older than me. I thought she was a teenager at the time when I was watching it, or like a teen, and just find out that she was like grown is crazy. How small she was, and like, I don't know, and how childlike she was able to maintain herself looking. Like, it was really scary and really sad. Let's get on into her adult life and her relationships and everything, and what I thought was really interesting about these relationships. She had like a few little flings and stuff with some guys, like, but because of her Mormon upbringing and the church and stuff, and her beliefs of not being intimate before marriage, she was never like intimate with anybody. She would just kiss them, or like, you know, whatever. Then she met this guy, correction, a 30-year-old man. I don't remember at the time, but I'm going to put her age right here of how old she was. She started talking to this 30-year-old man. This dude is disgusting. I'm not even going to repeat what he did to her, but it's disgusting. Reading that really made my skin crawl. Just being like, you know, in situations like that before, where, you know, older people have tried to take advantage of me and stuff, and like, just reading that made me so uncomfortable. Like, this dude is sick. He basically groomed Jennette, and he had a wife, kids, everything. Jennette couldn't have been more than like 17, 18, 19, I don't know. But he had a kid and everything. And like that scene in the hotel, if you know, you know. I am not repeating that. That was just disgusting. Like, he knew he was with a child. Like, it was just weird. But yeah, the fact that they went on the little Hawaii vacation, and the paparazzi caught them, and I looked up I was reading the book. That was the first time I actually went and looked up pictures. I was like, I need to see what these people look like. And when I saw that, I was like, that man is so disgusting. He looks like her uncle or her father. Didn't the mom find out? Wasn't that what the mom found out? Because the paparazzi? The mom caught her one time with somebody, and the mom was calling her all types of sluts, hoes. You ain't never gonna see me again. You're cut off. You're done. Your brothers don't fuck with you. Your daddy don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you. Like, she went ballistic on him. I just don't remember if it was with the 30-year-old or if it was with the basketball player, which we're about to get into, because I have a few theories about this basketball player. Yeah, this nasty behind 30-year-old man, finally they both came to their senses. Like, she wasn't trying to give up more than some fellatio, and he wasn't trying to leave his family, and he knew what he was doing was dead freaking wrong. So they split up. And then she started talking to people. Then she started talking to the basketball player. I don't know if y'all remember, but there was like a meme back in like the day on Twitter when they first started dating. And it was because he was so damn big and she's so small. And the joke was, how was that gonna fit into that? But it's like, little did y'all know, nasty ass on viewers, me, my young and immature self at the time included, Jennette was still sticking to her beliefs of no intimacy before marriage. Obviously, she means intercourse. Yeah, she wasn't putting out, so it is what it is. She was doing what she felt comfortable doing, and dude was cool with that too. To be fair, I am assuming this stuff from what she has written, because she does not go into intimate details about their sexcapades, okay? Only the 30-year-old man, who deserves it, mind you, because he had no business talking to somebody that young. He deserves to be exposed with his nasty ass. So let's talk about the basketball player. Here's my thing. She said she didn't really like him that much. That's fair. She said she liked him, but she wasn't in love with him. That's fair. My thing is, call me sensitive, but I think it's really interesting how she said she was annoyed by him using AAVE and slang. Okay, so he had texted her. Mind you, she was already annoyed because her mom was dying, and she was like, dude, my mom's about to die. And he texted her like, no, boo, you're gonna be good. And she was like, I hate when he doesn't text right. Is it so hard to just... Jenny, damn. He felt comfortable with you, girl. He was talking to you the way he talks to everybody. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm not going to lie. That did, like, reading that, it kind of hit my ears a little weird. And I just had to remind myself, like, Dodger, her mom's dying. So she's probably just being a little snippy. But I'm just like... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? Am I being extra? I don't know. Yeah, and I also feel like the basketball player, I don't know if you guys remember the scandal back in the day. She did not talk about this scandal in the book, though. About when the basketball player was accused of leaking her nudes. And TMZ was even saying, like, yeah, he did it. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that, but I did. And I was just like, I really do think that he did leak it. Because when her mom passed, right? He was like, oh, boo, don't be sad, blah, 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 blah. She's not going to die. Jennette texted him back and said, she's dead because she just died. Not even a minute later, TMZ, Jennette Mccurdy'S dad's dead. Everybody, Jennette's dad's dead. Her phone blowing up. Yo, dad dead. He's a op. He is a whole op. He is a whole freaking op. I believe that he leaked those nudes of her. I really do. I really do. And I low-key blame him for why, and I know she doesn't care about the TV shows, but I feel like he was the reason why her career got fucked. Because I just think of Vanessa Hudgens. It's like Vanessa Hudgens' career didn't get completely fucked, but there was definitely a type of role she could take after you are a child star who has flicks or nudes leaked, you know? And I don't know, maybe she didn't put it in the book because she getting a case on that ass. But I just had to bring those two things up about the basketball player boyfriend. Now, the last boyfriend we're going to talk about is the boyfriend who was schizophrenic. So, the interesting thing I wrote down was the boyfriend, when they first met, gave her an ultimatum for her ED because she was purging. Gave her an ultimatum for the ED and said, you need to get treatment. And then it turned into Jennette getting treatment, actually doing very well in treatment with a good therapist. In my opinion, let me know if y'all agree. I feel like that therapist was low-key a clout chaser. I feel like a lot of Hollywood therapists are. I feel like that therapist was low-key a clout chaser. But anyway, she was doing really good in therapy. And then the boyfriend, we're just calling him the boyfriend because I don't want to just call him schizo boyfriend. We're just going to the boyfriend. The boyfriend, stops going to treatment himself and stops getting medication himself and then starts hallucinating and having like religious hallucinations and like it's just getting bad. My dog thinking he Jesus and he done told Jennette, I want to be celibate. Now this scene also bothered me a little bit and it's really interesting that no one's talking about it. Jennette low-key essayed him. She low-key did. She did because he didn't want to. And she basically was on some like, no, this is the best. Wait, how long we been in there? She was like, this is the best D I've had in my life. You be fucking for real. Put your pants down. Like, she... Girl. And I'm not trying to laugh because I know it's not funny. Just like, it's not funny. But I'm just saying, like, I was really shocked that she even admitted to coercing him like that and just like pulling his pants down. And him just saying no. And then she talking about he just gave up. Like, girl, that don't mean yes. Like, that does not mean yes. Who is this boy, too? Who is this man? Who is this man? He said, I'm trying to be celibate. She said, no, you're not. To be matter of fact, she said, what if I don't want to? She said, what if I don't want to? Now, if a man would have said that to a woman and just pulled her skirt up and started eating her biscuit, now, wouldn't that be horrifying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I was just reading it and I just felt so uncomfortable because I was like, But then another part of me was like, damn, she's doing what old nasty behind 30-year-old man taught her to do. Isn't that gross? It's like after her mom dies, she just didn't know what to do. She just spiraled. Not making no excuse for no essay. I'm just acknowledging the fact that old girl was spiraling, living in a big old mansion with throw-up stains in the toilet, on the toilet seat, a pothead, schizophrenic in your house with good D that's just giving you D delivery, and nobody calling you for work. Your mom's dead. Your dad ain't really your dad. Your brothers ain't fucking with you. Your grandma always calling you for money. Like, old girl was going through it. Didn't have no friends. Because all her friends was getting the bag. She was like, I'm not getting the bag. I'm going to make this bag instead. So, yeah, I think you guys, this is a good one. I don't know which book I want to read next. I want to read whatever is the next poppin' book. I'll read it and give you guys an honest review. Would I read this again? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. It's a short read. But the SA and the ED scenes are pretty descriptive and pretty a lot. So, warning. And yeah, bro, get Lena Dunham off your freaking book, dude. Hit them up. Hit up Simon and Schuster, Jennette, and tell them, get this girl off of my book because my family member essayed me. And I don't want somebody who essays their family on my book. Like, I feel like that's fair. What the hell happened? Oh, okay. Well, that is my review. I'm about to go get some water. I feel like I've been talking your head off. Let me know if you guys agree with any of my points, or if I like missed anything that you want to talk about. Put it in the comments below. Did any of these things shock you, or did you not know a lot of this but you've heard or maybe watched other Jennette McCurdy videos? Let me know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Please leave me a comment. Please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.
Fuck being good, I'm a bad bitch. I'm sick of motherfuckers trying to tell me how to live. Fuck hoes hate under my pictures on